2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and hello fellows, Herogon here. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd of 2023, and here's a bit of basics on what's gone on over the past few days. I've gotten myself a new iPhone 14 right now. And so far, things have been going pretty good in my life. And in 9 days, it will be one of my sister's birthdays, so yeah. That maybe not too much, tons of stuff, but oh well. It's always good to at least let people know that I have a bit of a life outside of being on here and doing Unreal Engine, trying to learn the ropes here. So, with all that out of the way, let's get into things. Credit goes to Sean the Bro for a lot of his content. He has no doubt been amazing for this whole thing, and I always look forward to each and every one of his little tutorials, even if the particular topics may be of an obscure kind for those that are Unreal Engine users and have been developing on that. This week involves further work on the finding online sessions stuff. In this episode, Sean, as said in the description, quote, I go over searching for online sessions, customizing search parameters, and determining if any suitable matches have been found. And that is essentially one improvement made this week to the fighting game framework for this Funlog Friday/Showcase Saturday video. First, we'll go into the code part, and that involves two new functions, one of them being a U function, and then three particular variables that are a little more complex than usual. We have ourselves the search for sessions function, which is blueprint callable, where we search for an online session. We have a function called search for sessions completed, which triggers when searching for online sessions is finished with a boolean of search complete. Important to have that underscore there for any Unreal Engine game devs out there. Next, we have the search for sessions completed delegate, which is a variable of f on find sessions complete delegate, which is the delegate for finding or searching for online sessions. Then we have a delegate handle known as search for sessions completed handle that is the delegate handle for finding or searching for online sessions. And then search settings, which is our current settings used for finding or searching for online sessions. That is the basics of the .h, but before we go into the .cpp, I've also added this include online session interface.h. And with that, we can nicely segue into the .cpp's first change. Now I've commented out the include interfaces / online session interface.h. Why, you might be asking? Well, if we call it in the .h file, then the .cpp file by default will be able to have that include, all thanks to the base game instance.h being included. I guess you learn something new every day. Anyways, going into the U-base game instance thing itself, where we set our default value for variables, we have this new thing where search for sessions completed delegate equals f on find sessions complete delegate, where we create a U object, this, and call our search for sessions completed function. This instantiates the delegate for finding or searching for sessions, where we call the corresponding function upon completion. Then, as in last time, we have ourselves the host session. So, search for sessions has a few similarities here and there. If online subsystem equals online subsystem get, if online session pointer online session interface equals online system cast get session interface, then we initialize listening for the completion of the search operation, which has a whole lot of search settings, and the search for sessions completed handle equaling the online session interface casting to add on find sessions complete delegate handle search for sessions completed delegate within the parentheses of the said function. Now the search settings are simple. With make shareable, this means we can share the settings, isLAN query, max search results, ping bucket size, and timeout in seconds. It's definitely a lot of stuff I've been trying my best to process, so yeah. With the next part is constant u local player asterisk local player equals get world cast get first local player from controller. If online session interface finds sessions, which includes the in the parentheses local player cast to get preferred unique NAT ID search settings .to shared ref. If that stuff happens, then our search will have started, and otherwise the search will be unable to start. With U-based game instance search for sessions completed function, with our bool of search completed, it's pretty much the same as search for sessions, but with a few minor differences. Now we don't have any of these search settings stuff. Instead, we have this. We clear the handle and stop listening for the completion of the search operation, where online session interface cast to clear on find sessions complete delegate underscore handle search for sessions completed handle G-engine add on screen debug message, which you saw in the search for sessions beforehand, which will essentially give us an on-screen debug message rather than the average old UE logs. And of course, our text will say search found %d sessions after completing search, with the %d meaning any sort of number that's been founded after completing a search. And of course, search settings is casted to search results.num. And that is pretty much it for the code part. Now with the desktop blueprint stuff. Sorry if I happen to have this unscripted like I always do and get my words a bit mixed up sometimes. Anyways, in confirm selection, I have a few things put in. If the sub-menu is not open, and that's true, we do our typical old create cert level select screen. And essentially, our integer 1 value by default is technically the local button, where it's essentially a local match. Then with the if you're in the online button, essentially the integer thing is different because there's a lot less buttons in here. Compare the 4 buttons seen around this area to the 2 that are in the specific spot of online play, host and join. And if the submenu is in fact open, then we get our game instance ref, check if it's valid, then search for sessions. That is pretty much it with the blueprint part. And of course, before I play this, I want to make sure that I have number of players set to 2 rather than 1 by default, so we can create as much as 4 client instances. But since this is a 2D fighting game in the styles of such games as Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, etc., then we'll make use of 2 at the moment. We of course also want to have this level played in a new window this go around, so it will take a while for us to have everything going. So yeah, our new standalone game here. Actually, before I start this, I want to make sure that I have it set to both 2 players. See right here. Try to cancel out of that. It's a little bit tough to get through all of this sort of stuff here. So, and of course, I do not wish to let things go way too long. So, for the purposes of this video, I'm afraid I'm going to have to show you the way that Sean has it. I know it's not the most ideal of situations, but it's the best we can get since one can be so pressed for time. Now, of course, once with regards to Sean's own way, if you try to press join at first, it will say search found 0 sessions when starting search after a while. So yeah, that is a bit of a shame for those that have that sort of thing if in their own fighting game, but thankfully, you won't have to worry because in the other window, you can press host and it will say a session has been created, and after you join again in the first window right here, it will eventually say search found 1 sessions after completing search. So yeah, that is pretty good to know. And with regards to my own copy, essentially both windows can actually host and join each other at the same time, which I'm not sure is the most ideal, but it is what it is, I guess. And for those that have stuck around this long, thank you again for listening to me, how do you put this in your own words, ramble on about Unreal Engine and video game programming tutorials. Credit again goes to Sean the Bro for all of his work. It's definitely been amazing. I look forward to each and every video that he's been putting out for quite a while. Possibly the last 2 years or so. Crazy, right? And to think that after all this time, I've really come very far in trying to do my own thing. And that's where I'm going to leave things off. If you've enjoyed this video, whether it's on Instagram or quite possibly I'm hoping to let it go release onto YouTube sometime, do give it likes, comments, whatever you can to help the little guys like me and Sean the Bro. Whether one might be at 7.55k subscribers or even a smaller number than that really helps out a lot. With all that said, I've been Herogon, you've been you, and thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone.